and welcome back to this week's edition of Bar Yahweh 112's Sunday Funday. Hope you guys are having an awesome week. Hope you've recovered from the turkey, the stuffing, the sweet potato casserole. Hope you threw out your leftovers. They're no longer good. They lived a great life. Let's roll to this week's scripture. This week we're hitting up a great prophet. We're going to hit up Daniel. Chapter 1, verses 14 through 17. The attendant agreed to Daniel's suggestion and tested them for 10 days. At the end of the 10 days, Daniel and his 3 friends looked healthier and better nourished than the young men who had been eating the food assigned by the king. So after that, the attendant fed them only vegetables instead of the food and wine provided for the others. God gave these 4 young men an unusual aptitude for understanding every aspect of literature and wisdom. And God gave Daniel the special ability to interpret the meanings of visions and dreams. With that, let's kick it straight into the gameplay, guys. Alright, so this was some of the scripture I was listening to the other day when I was starting off my day. And there's one word that really stood out to me. The word aptitude. And one of the definitions of the word aptitude means the capacity for learning. That is a wonderful word that I absolutely love. Because to me, aptitude can be so much greater than pure knowledge. So just kind of keep that in mind. So let's roll back for a second here. And kind of what's going on with this is in Daniel, what happened is the Israelites got taken over into captivity. They got Nebuchadnezzar there. He's kind of taking charge, trying to raise up a lot of the Jewish kids to be servants in his palace and everything. So that's kind of the context of it. Then the 4 people he's talking about here are Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah are the ones that most of you may know by their Babylonian names of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Not a lot of people know Daniel as Belteshazzar. Just kind of didn't stick that way, but we got them. So we'll call them by their original Jewish names here. So Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. So basically what happened is the king ordered that they eat local food, local wine, top of the line. And they're like, we can't. God said not to eat that. And the temple guard's like, dude, I respect that, but if you guys start looking pale and weak, I'm going to get killed. So I'm not a fan of that. And then God gave him wisdom, said, well, test us for 10 days. So they asked and said, well, can you give us 10 days? Give us a test trial? See how we do? And as you guys can see here, they did that. And basically, they seemed healthier than everybody else. So it's just kind of a really cool thing that, one, when you start aligning yourself with the will of God and setting yourself to follow his commands and setting yourself to follow the guidelines he's set for you, generally, and I'm not going prosperity here, but what I'm saying is, generally he aligns blessings. Whether it be favor. In this case, he gifted them aptitude. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with aptitude, but there's some people that have aptitudes for mechanical things, some people that have aptitudes for academia, some people that have aptitude for musical. Some people can sit down with 1 or 2 lessons and pick up an instrument and just go to town. Some people can sit down with a book and absorb every word. Some people can, with sports, they can have an aptitude for learning sports. They'll sit there, they'll try a couple things, then bam, they'll just sail. So, number one, God creates us each uniquely and differently. But when we start to align ourselves with God's intent, God's laws, God's guidance, His word, we will begin to see God clearing things out of our path to allow an increase. And again, I'm not talking prosperity here. What I'm talking is an increase of his presence and opportunities in our life. Now, sometimes that could be financial. Sometimes that could just be substantive. Sometimes it could be joy. I don't know what that is in your life. That's between you and the good Lord. But I know that I have seen many, many blessings in my life as I align myself with him. And a lot of those also usually line up around things that involve those giftings he's given me. Professionally, spiritually, familia, whatever it is. So I just want to encourage you guys to continue to set yourselves to seek after him, to seek after his will in your life. And dig more into Daniel. It's a really cool story about a young man who set himself to follow God's will. So, big challenge, guys. Go check out the book of Daniel. Jump into chapter 1 here. Start there. And there's just a ton of really awesome stuff. God did an amazing work with Daniel and kind of the whole season he was in captivity. But check that out, guys. I am Bar Yahweh 112. This coming up week, you're going to see my schedule here in a second, but I do want to give you a heads up. There is a little change. I've got some stuff going on this week with the family. So I will not be able to stream Tuesday night. No stream on Tuesday night. We're moving it back one night to Wednesday. So don't forget to check that out. That's this week only. Wednesday night instead of Tuesday. I'll be publishing that out on Monday. So check the social medias. You can find me on the Facebook. You can find me on the Instagrams. You can find me on them Twitters. Check me out there, and I'm right here tonight on the tube of you. But y'all be blessed. Bar Yahweh 112. I'm rolling out. Y'all have a great week. We'll catch you live on Wednesday. Hey, who touched the thermostat?